There we go. Hey, welcome to Star Card Podcast. Here at Star Card Podcast, we get a glimpse at the age of Aquarius ahead of us. My name is Breakaway Ray. I like talking about the breakaway civilizations because we're breaking out of the one we're in right now. You've tuned into a live tarot throw. Today is September 30th, 2025. This is the end of Schooltember. I'm going to be reporting to my headmaster for remarks and comments. I think my principal would like to coach me on my lessons. Nevertheless, you tune into a live tarot throw. Let's get you 3 cards right away, whether you're watching this live or you're catching a recording. Whenever you're catching this recording, these 3 cards are for you. The tarot world want you to see these cards. Let's go to the tarot cam. 3 cards for you. Wait, hang on. That's better. See, I'm getting all excited. All my tarot cards are laid out. And here we go. We got a fresh a deck. So I see we have some friends in the chat already. I want to thank everyone for tuning in and participating in the chat. If you'd like to request a tarot reading for the second part of the show, please hit the top fans button. But also, it really helps if you write in all capital letters, tarot, please. So later on when I'm ready, I can easily scan the chat and find out who wants a reading. Thank you very much. So I'm going to give you 3 cards. Then we're going to take some grades and take a look back, a little retrospective on the last 2 months here at Star Card Podcast. Then we're going to talk about the OG, Giordano Bruno from the 1500s, mnemonics expert, philosopher, cosmologist. And then we'll have the second part of the show, and we'll do tarot for the audience. All right, but these 3 cards are for everybody. The tarot world can't wait to share these with you. I know. I see it every day. The tarot world starts us off with a positive, fun message, something for us to think about. Here we go. 3 cards for you, everybody, from the tarot world. You're welcome. 3 cards. All right. This is for entertainment purposes only. I'm already having fun. Here we go. All right. It's the 10 of Wands. I kind of like seeing the 10 of Wands at the end of the week. But you know what? It goes along with my Schooltember idea, right? It's the last day of September. And the 10 of Wands is the last numbered card among the wands. It tells about work being completed. So yeah, we're going to be talking about what we've done this month, what we've learned, what we've accomplished as a team and as a podcast. Next up, yeah, we're going to be talking about the magic that we've been making here at Star Card Podcast with the tarot cards and all the special help and special guests we get from the tarot world for sure. Yeah, this is for everyone tuning in. Check that out. It's the King of Swords. You can't get much truthier than that. Let's take a closer look at what it says on the King of Swords. Head over heart, disciplined, truthful, honest, mental clarity, and authority. Well, I already feel like this is a good progress report, everybody. I think the tarot world approves of what we've done so far this month. And you know what? What else could make us feel any better than having our parents, for example, pat us on the back and say, good job. All right. So thank you very much, tarot world, for those 3 cards. While we have some cards out, let me give these a toss. You see, I've got another version of the star card right there. I'm going to read to you from the book about the star card because it talks about being inspired and having hope. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the light for this one. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Maybe it looks better in this case. All right, so I'm going to read about the star, right? Here I go. The star. You are likely to find yourself feeling inspired. You have renewed hope and faith and a sense of being truly blessed by the universe. You are entering a peaceful, loving phase in your life, filled with calm energy and personal growth. Well, no wonder I picked the star card as the emblem of this podcast, because that pretty much describes where I'm at and I'm glad that you could all join me. We must have something in common, right, everybody? So I appreciate you joining me for this voyage while we talk about tarot cards. So let's let the star card stand by over there. And hang on a second, let me get all my tools ready. So we learned a lot about tarot cards just in the last 2 months since I've been podcasting in the morning. And I want to start off with the wands. We just saw the Ace of Wands when we got our 3 cards, talking about the magic that we're making here at Star Card Podcast. Every time I toss the cards, it seems like it's some kind of magic trick, even when I'm the one that's doing it. I have no idea how it works. So anyway, but whenever I see the Ace of Wands, I always say, people are going to, if this is not your first time, you've heard me say these things before. So sing along with Breakaway Ray, Ace of Wands, there's magic in the air. The 2 of Wands, you have the green light go. You have a good plan. The universe has got your back. The 3 of Wands, luck is where preparation meets opportunity. The 4 of Wands, homecoming. The 5 of Wands, conflict. Dun, 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 dun. 6 of Wands, public recognition. 7 of Wands, a challenge. 8 of Wands, it's coming at you fast. It's going to happen real soon. Well, there's the 10 of Wands. All the hard work is done. Or there's a big burden you're taking on. The Queen of Wands, have a zest for life. The King of Wands, the big picture guy. How about some more? We had the 7 of Cups, which indicates opportunities and variety, but the tarot world taught us to take a look at the 7 of Cups upside down, the reverse 7 of Cups, when we were talking about Mel Brooks on the now. Oh, no, I get to use the camera for this part up here. Here I go. I'm going to complain about the Lost Babe Ruth episode again. So it doesn't look like we're going to be able to recover the famous Lost Babe Ruth Star Card Podcast. But nevertheless, on that day, I was elaborating about the 7 of Cups and how, you could look at the gentleman down here, or maybe it's a lady, we don't know. But anyway, the back is turned, right? And they look like a conductor of an orchestra, like Mel Brooks is the director of a movie or a big production. He directed many musical numbers, okay? But anyway, that's one way you could look at it. But if you looked at it in the reverse, okay, it meant that there weren't a whole lot of opportunities and variety involved. Everything was streamlined. Everything was aligned. So it was a very clever way of the tarot world saying, when you compare Mr. Brooks's inner world and outer world, they're pretty much aligned. Can't you tell? Look at how happy that guy is, right? So it was totally appropriate. Let's go down and talk about some more cards. All right, because I'm sharing what I'm learning with you. So we talked about the 7 of Cups, and then there's the 9 of Cups, wish come true. The 10 of Cups, dreams come true. The Knight of Cups, knight in shining armor. You've heard these before. The 9 of Pentacles, fruits of your labor. The 7 of Swords, something's hidden. The 8 of Swords, my very fancy, hermetically science-based 8 of Swords expression, as much as you can imagine. The 8 of Swords, as much as you can imagine. And then the Queen of Swords always says, you were right. Tiene razón. Then how about some Pentacles? The 3 of, these cards are all, not all Pentacles here. These are all special cards that I perceive as saying, you know what, you are in direct connection with the spirit world. So sometimes when you see like these cards, especially at the beginning of a throw or the end of a throw, it's like, open quote, close quote. 3 of Pentacles, teamwork. And we're talking about teamwork with the spirit world in case it's a communication thing like that. Okay. How about the 6 of Swords? You're being guided from rougher waters to calmer waters by an invisible hand. The spirit world is guiding you. I wonder if you can even see the ghost in that one. Okay. The Two of Cups. I often say it looks like a 20th century television show split screen with two people talking to each other on the phone. The Two of Cups, it's a teamwork card. And speaking about teamwork, how about some intense teamwork? Teamwork, respect, love, mutual admiration. It's the Lover's card. And that's another one where if it's at the beginning of a sentence or the end of a sentence, it's pretty much like the tarot world saying out loud, this is a message from the tarot world. You heard it straight from us and we love you. Punctuation mark, exclamation point. How about that? And so now I saved the major arcana for last. Hang on a second. Let me get organized. Yeah, this is review. This is like a vocabulary check. I was going to give you a pop quiz. I guess I'm going to do that at the end of the next month. Next time I'll have the class chat their answers in the chat there. But anyway, the Fool card from the very beginning of the deck, the very beginning of the major arcana, the big events in life. The Fool card, the beginning. The Hanged Man, have another look at it. Look at it a different way. The Death card, you know, Breakaway Ray can finally chill out now about this. It just means beginnings, endings, transformations. Okay? I can chill out about the Devil card too. The Devil card just means you got to let it go. And then, you know what? The Sun card says everything's going to be all right. Everything's cool. And you know what else I noticed when we ask for readings from the tarot world? We often get the attitude of the star. You know, have hope, be inspired. I really feel like, again, we picked a good name for the podcast because that's who's delivering the answers. It's the star card. All right, thank you very much to this tarot deck. And I think I'm going on to my next. I'm going to check my notes. You don't need to check them. Here we go. I'm looking at the paper. Hang on a second here. I took care of the tarot cards. So what I wanted to say, I don't think I'm done with those tarot cards. So what I wanted to say was that, you know, when you practice with the tarot cards enough, and, you know, let's say, for example, something like I did where you're doing it like maybe an hour a day, if you can really find that kind of time. I know that's hard to do. But let's just say you're practicing with the tarot cards enough. It becomes like practicing a second language. So, for example, you know, after a while, you start thinking in Spanish, you know, when you're on tour through Mexico or Spain or Venezuela or someplace like that. I remember when I was, you know, hanging around Italy and southern France. This was way back in the 80s. And in Spain, you know what? I would think of things and then I would be automatically conjuring them up in my mind in the language that I was practicing at the time. I wasn't thinking in English is what I was saying. So that's kind of what happens with the tarot cards too. You'll be going through your life and then, you know, you might pose a question to yourself and then all of a sudden a card will come to your mind almost like it's an answer, like it's a call and response. And so when you have that call and response going, aren't you generating a dialogue? If you're watching Star Card Podcast, don't you believe in the invisible world already? Don't give up on your invisible friends from when you were a kid, okay? You can have invisible friends now when you're a grown-up. Look, I'm making it work. This is so funny. If I'm doing this on the internet now for entertainment purposes only, this is great. You know, I'm making people laugh. If I was doing this just a few years ago, my family would be thinking, you know, we got to get Breakaway Ray into an insane asylum here and take control of what's going on. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is, you know, that's another way to develop your intuition and a way to listen to it. You know, you pose a question inside your mind. When your mind is all clear, you're all grounded, and you're okay, now let me sort this out. What's up with this deal? Okay, and then maybe a tarot card will come to your mind. Or maybe you'll conjugate that sentence in Spanish instead of thinking about it first in English, for example. Just those are the kinds of things I like to experiment, to talk about, and share with everybody when you're tuning in the Star Card Podcast. I want to thank you for viewing. Thanks for catching my show today. And I want to thank all the subscribers. I know you heard this before, subscribers. You guys really motivate me to come out and throw cards for you. So thanks a lot. I'm going to try to keep you entertained and inspired. All right, so let's see if I got some more. All right, so after a while, you know, we just demonstrate how you take a look at a card, and it's almost like each card has a quick story. The King of Wands, the big picture, the Eight of Swords. It's like a preposition, as much as you can imagine, a prepositional phrase, I should say. So what happens if you get like two cards, you kind of blend them together, right? It reminds me of this old gimmick. I wasn't going to even talk about this today. There's a late night comedian named Conan O'Brien, and he used to do a thing with trick photography. He would take the faces of two celebrities, and he would say, what if you took the DNA from each and they created a child? What would that child look like? And he blend the photos together, and it was quite disturbing and hilarious. So what I'm getting at is, I'm going to take the cards now, and I'm just going to pick out two cards, and then all right. So I'm not looking. I'm getting one card now, and I'm getting another card right now. Okay, here I am. I got two cards. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say, yeah, this is a surprise. The tarot world is totally playing around. We're going to learn something here. So we got two cards here, and what we're going to do is we're going to put a story together about them. Okay. Now, how wonderful! I see the first card is the Empress. I'm going to put this in my pocket so you guys see. I'm not doing the magic trick. Okay, it's just going to stay there a second. Okay. So let me lower the camera. I don't want you to. There we go. Let me read to you what it says here about the Empress. Abundance, nurturing, fertility, feminine, good parenting, development, accomplishment, growth, evolution, and action. Well, if we just thought very literally about what we're doing, trying to develop our psychic abilities, trying to develop our communication with the spirit world, okay, we're getting good parenting from the spirit world. We're getting good coaching, right? Now, I obviously my eyes were closed when I was drawing those cards. I didn't realize what was happening. Check out the magic. It's the Two of Cups. This is a message from the spirit world, right? So anyway, I put those two together and I came up with that fancy description of what we're doing right now, right? But let's try again. Let's go a little bit faster. I'm picking a card. I'm going to pick another card. I'm going to quickly turn these into a story also. Blend the meanings together. Hey, everybody. It's the Lover's card, right? We're getting all the communication cards from the tarot world. We're trying to develop our intuition and our communication with the spirit world. And it is precious, says the Four of Pentacles. This is so valuable. This is great practice. All right, so we're getting practice. We're getting practice doing two things here: communicating with the spirit world and recognizing the messages that they are sending to us. And we're also blending together two cards to make a sentence and an idea and develop a thought, right? I'm going to quit while I'm ahead because that was pretty awesome how we got those two cards about communication. But I wanted to demonstrate that. Okay, great. Makes me feel like I need to have like a second camera. See, there's no sleight of hand. I don't even have any sleeves right now, right? Nothing up my sleeve. Gonna check my notes. Here I go. That was pretty awesome. Okay, that's taken care of. All right, so I got two tarot throws left for me, and then all the rest are for you in the chat. And thank you very much. I see the chat is scrolling up. I know you're having a good time. Thank you very much. Remember, if you want a reading, please type tarot, please, in all capital letters so I can see it easily later. I read the chat after the show. It's really a lot of fun for me. So thank you very much, everybody, for being kind to me and for being kind to each other. Why not? Life is short. Let's, what's the old expression, that song from the 60s? Love the one you're with, right? Okay, I love you guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Now, on with my first throw is, what we've done quite a lot here at Star Card Podcast. I'm sure some people who've been around since Camp Breakaway in August have said to themselves, what, Breakaway Ray, you started out pretty good, and now things look even more polished. Well, obviously, I'm getting more familiar with the curriculum, so my lesson delivery is even better, right? I'm also feeling more comfortable in front of the camera. I have received so many reaffirming confirmations from people in the audience, and also from subscribers and people who like and share. And it really, again, it motivates me and it lets me know I'm doing the right thing. So, if I were to give myself, a grade, well, first of all, who would give me a grade? So I made a list. Who would give Breakaway Ray a grade? Hang on, I got a good list here. Before I give you that list, I got to tell you about this other list I just drew up. Because I just considered, where we went with the tarot cards this past September, Schooltember, and then also in August, Camp Breakaway. We not only examined a lot of things in the Tarotpedia style, where we're kind of like looking someone up and asking the tarot world to tell us about it or tell us about that person, but also we've had some guest speakers arranged by the tarot world. We've actually had people come spiritually and send us a message through the tarot cards. How wonderful was it to hear from former Vice President Henry Wallace? That message was really aligned with the kind of person that he is, and he seems well aware of where we're at historically in 2025 as we cross the threshold already into the age of Aquarius. So let me check out this list, because maybe you haven't seen all. I realize now there's like 70 videos. So if you haven't seen them all, of course you don't know. But again, check out this list. We actually invited in Mahatma Gandhi and Bishop Desmond Tutu together. We invited in the presidents of the United States, James Monroe and John Quincy Adams. He had a tarot press conference about, what's that word down there? Yeah, integration. So we had a tarot press conference with John Quincy Adams, who talked about integrating old world infrastructure into the United States infrastructure when he was in office. We talked to, as I mentioned, Vice President Henry Wallace. We talked to Topsy the elephant. We talked to the spirit of the United States of America. We talked to Kurt Cobain, made a video of that yesterday. We talked to Secret Space Program. Well, we didn't talk to Secret Space Program experiencer Chris O'Connor, but we had the Tarot World do a Tarotpedia for us on him, and also on John Whitberg as a historian. And we compared John Whitberg's story with the story of Livy, the Roman historian. And we had a timeline from him. We did Mel Brooks. We did Babe Ruth in the famous Lost Babe Ruth Star Card podcast. Oh, that was such a great day. Sorry everyone missed it. I was talking to myself for 38 Livy, and we also talked to President James K. Polk. We talked to the spirit of railways, and you know what? Rob Khalil from the Typical Skeptic podcast even showed up, and we threw him some cards. So that's quite a lot of that's quite a broad spectrum of guests to have on the show. We learned a lot from all these people about their perspectives on what's going on, even in our world today. So wanted to share that part. And so now on to the teachers. I guess, my teachers are really my students, my quote unquote my students, my viewers. I learned from you. So many of you who have invited me to read tarot cards for you. Obviously, I got to practice my skill a lot more. So I'm very grateful to you for offering me that chance. But anyway, I have some other spiritual teachers probably looking over my shoulder. I want to remind people, and again, if you've seen all my videos, congratulations and thank you. But some of this is going to sound like I repeated it. So I'm going to start with the first three teachers that I care about, and that would be the ancient Greek teachers Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. And Socrates would hire out his service as he walked around Athens, to the chagrin of his wife, who thought that he should be working around the house or doing something more profitable. Nevertheless, people would hire Socrates, and he would demonstrate that whatever people thought that they knew, they really didn't know so well, because they really need to turn inward. And to follow Socrates is a famous expression, know thyself. They needed to know themselves. All right, that's what's going on. All right, that challenge has never stopped. But Socrates never wrote anything down. I wonder if that surprises anybody. Socrates didn't write anything down. That was for his student Plato, Plato. That's right. I'm not talking about the childhood Plato. That's what I'm sorry. I always think of that because when I mention Plato in elementary school, that's the first thing all the kids need me to correct, right? So anyway, Plato, a good, keen philosopher and high, strong intellect in his own right, he was Socrates' student. He wrote down what Socrates said in the, and then Plato was the teacher of the third teacher that I care about, Aristotle. And it is said of Aristotle that he was the last person to know everything about everything. So anyway, we know everything or anything about everything if we want. Again, through our connection through the spirit world. We could just tap into the Akashic field around us. It's all right there. We just got to learn how to tune our vibrations in. I'm preaching to the choir. If you're a Star Card podcast subscriber, you know this already. So anyway, thanks for me comparing notes with you. So yeah, we're going to, I figured those 3 teachers would probably, I would welcome their comments, right? I'd welcome their commentary. Let's see, who else would I ask to grade me? Well, I just mentioned Rob Khalil in the Typical Skeptic podcast. Rob was basically a tutor of mine, a mentor. He showed me how to do what I'm doing right now. So, that would be awesome. I'm sure Rob would give me a thumbs up. He'd give me a like. Likewise, I know this is going to get a loud cheer from the audience. My friend Psychic Liz Cross, she's been a very enthusiastic supporter. She's got her own little playlist here at Star Card Podcast, and I've learned a lot from what she does. So I'm thankful to them, and those are good teachers to assess how I'm doing, right? I'm finding out, what can I do better? How am I doing, etc. And then let's see, who else have I got here for teachers? Oh, well, you know what? I would like to call Bishop Desmond Tutu and Mahatma Gandhi of India again, those 2 20th century leaders, political and spiritual leaders, because again, here at Star Card Podcast, we're getting in touch with the spirit world. We're not going along with the story that, it's not there and it's invisible and we can't see it, because we need to, stretch our consciousness and embrace it. This is magic that we can create. And if we don't talk about it, and if we don't talk about human rights and protecting the human and protecting consciousness and building a firewall between ourselves and things that try to attack it, okay, then encroach upon it and we're going to be weaker. So anyway, while I got my chance, I'm going to turn on the camera and turn on the lights, out a message here at Star Card Podcast. So now I'm going to invite the tarot world to go ahead and throw me some grade cards. Let's go to the tarot can. Yeah, look at all those notes. Where's the other page? There. Yeah, I come prepared. So we're inviting the tarot world to go ahead and give me a grade card. Give us all the grade card. Well, okay, I'll take the responsibility. I was the leader on this project. This is more like a schoolmaster having a conference with a teacher, an instructor, or in my old profession, a principal doing an observation with a teacher. I didn't want to talk about my observations. This is going to sound hilarious to everybody, but I almost never got good observations. The more of my videos that you watch, the funnier that sounds, I'm sure. But anyway, I would listen to the tarot world. They're telling the truth. Queen of Swords. All right, tarot world. Well, I know we get an E for excellent effort. We're sure having fun. And maybe you'd like to send us a little bit of message here about what we've accomplished and where we're ready to grow. Thank you, tarot world. Yeah, here we are, the war on spiritual poverty. I'm waking up early and talking about it. You're so kind to welcome me into your homes and lives to share these messages with you. So let's see, what have I got here? Yeah, these are my grade cards for Schooltember. All right, this is for entertainment purposes only, Breakaway Ray, okay? There'll be other observations. Don't get all hyped up and don't get all defensive, okay? We're all friends here. I wish someone said to me every time I sat down in the principal's office, here we go. Oh, yeah, I should quit while I'm ahead, right? It's the Knight of Cups. It's the Knight in shining armor. Sweet. All right, I think that's a vote of confidence. That sounds like an A+. Do I really have to flip the rest? Oh, well, okay. He's saying you're doing a good job. Now, here's something to build upon. I'm having too much fun. Sweet. We're going to build upon it, all right? It's the Page of Pentacles. Whatever it is, whatever you think it is, manifestation, financial opportunity, skill development, ambition, desire, and diligence. I'm going to say knight in shining armor and skill development. I don't know where else you go to get your spirit all pumped up, and where you start consciously thinking about manipulating energies around you. Anyway, I'm happy that you're stopping by here. This is where we're trying to make it happen. Oh yeah, great. The Empress showed up. This is a comfortable place to be. It's very nurturing. Everybody's groovy over here. Feeling the love in the room. Here we go. All right. It's happening right now, says the Eight of Wands. And all right. And I'm going to get fancy with the Nine of Swords. So the Nine of Swords talks about anxiety and sleeplessness and insomnia. Now, we all know insomnia refers to Breakaway Ray. Okay. So that could just be, straight up literal truth. Some of the things that we talk about, like competing in our own minds to control our consciousness, that can make us a little bit sleepless, right? So that could be an issue. And everyone knows that I like turning the Nine of Swords upside down, turning that front upside down, and finding a hopeful message. How about releasing worry, having hope, and reaching out? When you're saying having hope, okay, that sounds like the star card. And reaching out, it's what we're doing here at the podcast. Yay. I think that's a straight up great grade card, a wonderful observation. I know the tarot world knows I'm going to keep on working hard like this. I'm glad to know I'm on the right track. Thank you very much, tarot world. Okay, and now on to Giordano Bruno. Like my family, his family was from the Naples area of Italy. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to share a screen. Oh, maybe I can. Let's try it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I think I could do it. No, that's not what I want to do. Hang on a second, everybody. Okay, you know what? I'm going to have to practice sharing some other time. So anyway, Giordano Bruno, not someone who stars in a lot of history books here in the United States, not in my education anyway, and I consider myself pretty educated. I have a couple of college degrees. I got a fistful of teaching credentials. You can probably tell I got a thirst for knowledge on the outside too. Nevertheless, came across Giordano Bruno on my own, and I want to read to you what it says on Wikipedia. Oh, that reminds me. So yeah, we got to talk about what's in the description. So I don't have entry music on the live broadcast, but I did put a link to Rick James's song "Bustin' Out," which goes along with my opening expression. We're breaking out of this, this civilization that we're in right now. So I kind of like that song. That would be like me walking on stage, coming through the curtains, hearing that song and a funky downbeat. Here comes Breakaway Ray. All right, we're busting out. Then I've got the Wikipedia article link for Giordano Bruno, and I also have a link to Psychic Liz Cross's discussion with Phillip K. Dick, the science fiction writer. And when I listened to it, he was talking about a lot of stuff that we're talking about, and he's talking about how valuable consciousness is, and it's the whole game, and how it's happening right now. So anyway, I put those links in there for you. So anyway, I want to read to you now what it says about Giordano Bruno. Let's see. There's only 2 paragraphs. Hang on. Let's see if I can put this right there. There we go. Giordano Bruno was an Italian philosopher, poet, alchemist, astrologer, cosmological theorist, and esotericist. He practiced hermeticism. Okay. Hermetic sciences. I'll continue. Bruno practiced hermeticism and gave a mystical stance to exploring the universe. He proposed that the stars were distant suns. He raised Okay, I think I'm back. Sorry about that, everybody. I want to thank those people in the chat for letting me know also. Anyway, there we go. We're back in action. Thanks, Judy, Mrs. NW5. All right, we're live again. Hey, everybody. Let's try this again. So before he was burned at the stake for heresy, Giordano Bruno was asked, do you have any last words? This was the 17th of February, 1600. And if you live in Italy, you know that date's a big deal. And his last words were, perhaps you pronounce this sentence against me with greater fear than I receive it. Obviously, the people that were persecuting him were scared and acting out of fear. And meanwhile, Signore Bruno knew, I'm just going to be reincarnated. You can unalive me, but my spirit lives forever. So let's go ahead and see if there's a message from Giordano Bruno for us, who I shall declare are friends of Giordano Bruno. All of us here at Star Card Podcast. This is a wish come true to be able to talk to him. Thank you, Tarot World, for all the great messages, all the great support. What an interesting, rich highlight reel we've had this morning. Can't wait to get to the audience readings. But finally, we'd like to invite Giordano Bruno in. He's just saying the same thing, 400 years ago that we're talking about today. I'm sure he would find it no problem to pop in and send us a message with a tarot card. He's probably here right now saying, yeah, here we go. We're all here together. Yeah, thanks, everybody. Clear connection to Giordano Bruno. A message from Giordano Bruno. I feel like he's happy about this. I mean, it's a long time separating when I'm throwing these cards and his last words. Hey, Giordano Bruno. Welcome. And grazie. Grazie, signore. All right, here we go. This is for entertainment purposes only. And our internet connection is good. That's one of our connections that's good. First up, it's the Seven of Cups, which indicates opportunities and variety. It could also represent his cosmological view, Giordano Bruno's cosmological view, that there are many planets and there's civilizations on lots of them, and the universe goes on forever. I could get behind that. Okay. And of course, that knowledge that he had about the universe that went on forever, okay, was hidden. And it might have been deliberately obscured during his lifetime, which is why he drew so much attention. And didn't it draw a conflict for him, says the Five of Wands? Yes. All right. Welcome, Giordano Bruno. Excellent. See, is the tarot world kind of restates where we're going here, but I think this is Mr. Bruno himself. The Queen of Cups comes in, and the Queen of Cups talks about intuition, by the way. But let's read what it says on the card. Compassion, comfort, calm, nurturing, healing, emotionally stable, intuitive, and caring. Well, to be intuitive, you have to be emotionally stable. And remember that last sentence that I just read out loud? Didn't that sound like an emotionally balanced, an emotionally stable person about to be burned at the stake? He's kind of nonplussed about it. Okay. More hints that Giordano Bruno's vibration is in my living room right now. And how about the Hierophant? What a learned man Mr. Bruno was, and he stuck to his ideas. Not only that, I didn't discuss this part with everyone yet, but he was an expert with memory. We would have considered him almost a circus freak, the way he could remember things. He would be called into royal courts to demonstrate his ability. Anyway, again, more signs of Giordano Bruno, who I'm sure has a message of encouragement for all of us here at Star Card Podcast about, the fact that we all agree and think about the same things. How about the Five of Swords? Okay, so this is something else that he had to deal with. He had to deal with bullying. The Five of Swords is conflict, disagreements, competition, defeat, winning at all costs. Yeah, that kind of stuff was going on. But you know what? The Queen of Swords says he was right the whole time, and we agree. So the Five of Cups says that there's some kind of disappointment, but nevertheless, the tables have turned. The Emperor card says that we're in control. We're in control through our consciousness. And in our case here, just even discussing things like other planets with life on them and consciousness, even telepathy, for example, just here on Earth and among your friends and family and in your community. It demonstrates the power of our consciousness. I think that's what he wants us to focus on if I had to glean a message from tarot cards. Mille grazie, Giordano Bruno. All right, let's give these cards a toss and move on to audience readings. I might need a tea break. One moment, please. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the chat and see who wants a reading. And then I'll take my tea break. I'm going to give you a little bit more of the backdrop there. There we go. So I see Judy, Mrs. NW5. All right, and she had a number 2 by her number, or her name rather. And then number 3, hey, Freebird, thanks for watching the show. Thanks for participating in the chat. I got you down too, Freebird. Did I not look at the camera for Judy? Hi, Judy. Really appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. Okay, who else we got here? Hey, hi, Coco. I see you got a purple number 1 next to your name. Welcome to the show. I'm going to write you down, Coco. Let's see who else is in town. Hello, DJ. I just see your name, and I want to say hi. Thanks very much for dropping in. Let's see. Real Glow Up. Hi, Real Glow Up. Let's see. Yeah, you're welcome. Namira. Hi again, Namira. Thanks very much. I don't see that Namira wants a reading yet, but I'm glad she's here. I'm happy to give you one, Namira. We're going to check and see if there's anyone else. Tarot, please. I got Coco, right? Freebird, got it. And Judy wants 1 card. That helps. The capital letters help. All right. Oh, there's Namira. Okay, Namira, I got you too. All right, so I've got these 4 people to start with. Coco, Judy wants 1 card, Freebird, and then Namira, and then we'll see how things go. All right. Whoops. You know what? I am going to take that tea break. 1 moment, please. All right, first up is Coco. Cool. That works. All right, Tarot World. Many compliments to you, Tarot World. Thanks for the help with the lesson plans, delivering the instruction, arranging all the special messages and special guests, all the guest speakers. What a wonderful way to spend the morning while you're eating breakfast or commuting or getting the family ready to do what they got to do. These cards are for Coco. These cards are for Coco. How about a helpful, fun message for Coco, please? Thank you. A helpful, fun message for Coco. Okay. A helpful, fun message for Coco, please. Thank you. Yeah, very good. Okay, great. Here we go, Coco. Thanks for inviting me to read. You know, I love the practice. It's fun for me to tell these stories. And you know, if it's entertaining and that's great. If it's inspirational, that's even better. And if somehow I'm accurate, that's wonderful too. But I'm going to share, you know, what I think the dynamics are in the story, the way the cards lay it out. First up, it's the Queen of Cups. She is intuitive. She is empathic. She is compassionate. The words comfort and calm and nurturing and healing and caring all show up there. I mean, you would want her to be your nurse, for example, although she is the queen. So you can still be cared for, but she'll probably get someone else to help you with all the hard stuff. Whoa. So we get someone who's very intuitive, and then someone who's intuitive can see the shadows. Here comes the devil card. The devil card talks about letting go of things that we don't really need anymore. And if you look at the people on the devil card, they have a chain around their neck, but that chain is kind of loose. They could just easily like lift it off and be done with it. So anyway, the intuitive queen sees that there's something that needs to be let go. Wow. And then the lover's card shows up. Oh, wow. You should get like a screenshot of this, okay? Because these are two ends of the spectrum, aren't they? Right? You know, you let something go, the devil card, you let it go, and then look at how your life changed. Again, there's there's a figure that's large in the back, and then there's the two smaller figures, right? It's a spectrum almost. And it's an easy sentence. You know, once you're intuitive and you see what you need to let go, bam, you know, the sun's going to come out. And then it'll be a wish come true, says the 9 of Cups. Wow. What a wonderful sentence. What a wonderful message to send. These are pretty powerful cards. Anyway, let's see what the second act has for us. The Queen of Pentacles, after that big adventure, the Queen of Pentacles is sitting pretty. She's nurturing, she's practical, she's providing financially, she's a working parent. And then, look at that, she's not alone. The 3 of Pentacles says she's collaborating, and she's part of a team. And it says teamwork, collaboration, learning, implementation, and building something. And then, wow, look at that. The King of Wands shows up. Look at these fireworks. And that's the big picture. You're overcoming obstacles. That was a really fun and exciting reading. Thank you very much for inviting me to read. I hope you found it entertaining and inspiring also. Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks, Coco. Cool. Next up, Judy wants a card. Nice. One card for our friend Judy. Across the pond. Already? Okay. Hey, Judy, I think this is your card. It's the King of Cups. I'll read to you what some of the terms say. You know, I'm sure you can pick out which meaning you need to focus on. The King of Cups, emotionally balanced, compassion, diplomatic, control, balance, supportive leader, tolerance, empathic. I don't want to get political, but I'm just characterizing a well-known person, you know, as he presents himself in public here, okay? I'm thinking of Barack Obama, the former president of the United States. We used to nickname him No Drama Obama, right? No drama. That's the King of Cups. So someone to emulate just as a matter of character, right? You know, when we dance sometimes, you know, sometimes we want to dance like Michael Jackson. Sometimes we want to tap dance like who are those guys? I forget what their names were. I'm forgetting all my. We do it in their style. So anyway, you might want to like strut around town like you're Barack Obama, and then see how cool things are and how groovy things are. All right. I don't know if I just made subscribers or lost subscribers there. I got to say, I do have a lot of respect for Barack Obama. I really like, you know what, I could say this. I could look you in the camera and say this. I have a lot of respect for Barack Obama. I'm not happy about what happened at Guantanamo Bay. He kind of like, he could have tried harder there. Nevertheless, I like having a constitutional scholar, a constitutional professor, a lawyer in the White House. you know, he knows how the government worked. And, you know, he put up with a lot of naysayers in our own country. But he was always cool about it. Again, no drama, Obama. That anyway, I wonder if there's some other people I could think of now that are cool. And, you know, they don't get overexcited or whatever. They treat everyone like they're diplomats. Maybe one will come to me. I'll think of one from the athletic world. Someone who never gets excited. Maybe Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, right? He had a black belt. That's one way to like tame your spirit and align with your body. Anyway, back down to the cards, everybody. Maybe I shouldn't have had that second cup of coffee. Next up, it's Freebird, and then the Mira. All right, the Nicholas brothers. Thank you, Judy. That's what I was thinking of. I almost put them in the description today. The Nicholas brothers. Thank you very much. Hello, Brento. I just see your name, and I'm very happy to see you. Thanks for joining the show. All right. So anyway, these are for Freebird. That was pretty exciting and fun. We're all getting animated here at Star Card Podcast. And how about a fun, helpful message? I'll try not to make it too, you know, oppositional or without any potential for conflict. We're going to focus on fun and positive here. And this is for Freebird. A helpful, fun message for Freebird, please. Thank you for help. Let's help Freebird. Fun for Freebird. All right, here we go, Freebird. Fun and light, helpful. Think positive, like the Sun card. All is going to be all right. Everything's going to be great. Here I go. Yay, see? Everything's going to be great. Here's the Nine of Cups. Talks about a wish come true. Let's see if there's any other messages on here for you, Freebird. Wish come true, contentment, satisfaction, emotional stability, luxury, and gratitude. All right, good morning, Freebird. That's awesome. Check it out. The Four of Pentacles talks about being frugal and holding on to your money. That could be a reason why you're in such good position, you know, in this position of luxury and gratitude, because you're wise with your money. Okay. Hey, how about that? Well, it's the World card. The World card says you're at the end. You're at the end. So this may not be the dynamic, but if I were to look at this quite, you know, in a linear way, it reminds me of some friends of mine. Believe it or not, about 30 years ago, they won the lottery, and they took my friends, they won the lottery, and they took monthly installments, I think, for 20 years. But after 20 years, obviously, the payment stopped. They still got a lot of money out of it, right? So anyway, looking down at the cards again, it's a wish come true. Whoops. What happened? All right, we're going to be a little bit cockeyed for the rest of the show here. Or for right now. Hey, somebody won the lottery. We had some money, and now the payments have stopped coming in. Or maybe it's a wish come true. We're set for life, you know, until the end. It could be either one of those plot lines. Ooh, I almost see it. There we go. A little bit better. So the second sentence, Freebird, the Page of Pentacles, new financial opportunities. Good. And now you can put some of that money towards another investment. The Knight of Pentacles, which talks about hard productivity, routine, conservation, and efficiency. Again, it goes along with being frugal with that money. And then finally, you know, if you do all those things, the Ace of Wands says there, you know, you're going to create some magic. And it says new project, inspiration, urge to create, willpower, desire, potential beginnings, new opportunities, and growth. I see the graph going upward here while my whole table is crooked. So, sorry, everybody. Hang on a second. Let's get this straight. All right. Anyway, your last card, Freebird. Oh, so what a punctuation mark. Remember, the devil card is just saying, let something go, that you don't need anymore. You're going to be happier if you could just let it go. So all these wonderful things are happening. You know what? And while you're having positive things happen, the negative things are going to fall by the wayside. It's not even going to be like important anymore. Look, he's not even in the picture anymore. So I think that's a sign that, the hard times are going to be, you're just going to bypass them. Things are just going to be easier. You're going to follow the path of grace and ease. That's how you're going to stay aligned with your spirit and your soul's path. Thank you, Freebird, for inviting me to read. Let's get a reading for Namira. Right on, Judy. Thanks for your feedback. And okay, let's get some cards for Namira here. And we just crossed the hour mark. All right, our friend Namira out in the Netherlands. Hey, Namira, thanks a lot. It sure is good to see you in the chat. I appreciate it when you're around. And I know you're probably catching recordings. I know not everyone can wake up early and catch me live all the time. Anyway, I'm not sure you would want to. That's Breakaway Ray overload. Anyway, these cards are for our friend Namira out in the Netherlands. I have friends who used to live in Hilversum. I don't know if you've heard that place. I think it's outside of Amsterdam. These cards are for Namira. A helpful fun, please. Whoa. Okay. Thank you for all the fun, helpful messages. And here's a helpful, fun message for Namira, please. Thank you. That's right. Thanks, Namira. Right. I still know my my Dutch geography. Here we go. These are some cards for you. Oh, wow. The Tower card. The Tower card talks about, things falling away, even big changes, sudden insight. And it can also mean, you realize it's time to clean out that closet and reorganize things. It could be something like that. So either sudden insights or real world, big changes, career changes, home changes. I wonder if there's another word on here that might help. Revelation, disaster, awakening, or time to clean out the garage. Wow. So there's sudden changes, maybe even a disaster and some chaos, followed by the Five of Swords, which indicates, bullying and conflict and winning at all costs. It's like, people scrambling around after Hurricane Katrina in 2003 in New Orleans, that kind of thing. I mean, if I were to put it seriously, right? Then, indeed, the Seven of Wands says it's a challenge. This might be the tarot world acknowledging that there's a challenge, ahead. But I don't think that the tarot world would just go ahead and say that without saving up, the helpful, fun part of it. Okay. I would say that people don't come to planet Earth to experience this stuff when they're not fully prepared to deal with it. Okay. So anyway, let's see how the timeline shakes out. Look at that. The Ten of Cups says, first of all, it's dreams come true. So it's probably a good thing that these things fell apart and we were aware what was really going on, who the bad were, and why there was such a challenge. Now that we recognize all that, true, let's see what the dream come true looks like. Seven of Cups, opportunities, but there'll be choices. And then where, you can pinch your pennies, but the point is you have pennies, okay? So you should be like financially set for a while. You only need to buy one cup. Don't buy all of them. Use your divine love and discernment to figure out which one you want. Be efficient about your decisions. And then check that out. Whatever your plan will be, the universe has your plan. Sorry, the universe approves of your plan, says the Two of Wands. The universe has your back. So, it'll be a dream come true. The universe is there helping you make a good decision. And as long as you, behave in a prudent manner, your plans are going to be backed by the universe. I hope that was fun. All right, Namira. Thank you very much. I appreciate that feedback. That helps me know. Okay, and I see CG. I see your message, CG. Welcome to the show. You're welcome, Namira. So I'm going to throw some cards for CG, and I think I'm going to make CG the last one, everybody. So anyway, I got to focus on the cards here. Welcome to the show, CG. Thanks for inviting me to read. I love the practice. This is a lot of fun for me. Hope you're having a good time. I know it's a long show. So here I go. How about a fun, helpful message for CG, please? And thank you very much, Tarot World. We've all had a lot of fun. I bet you're going to be following around all of our viewers the rest of the day, you know, just to let them know how much you appreciate spending time with them. I mean, let's face it, the spirit world gets to communicate with us more just from a deck of cards and the internet and the fact that I have a lot of free time and I'm an insomniac. And these cards are for CG. Thank you very much, CG. Welcome to the show. Is that one card? No. These cards are for CG. A fun, helpful message for CG, please. Here we go, CG. First, a strength card, strength and power. And then the Nine of Swords talks about sleepless nights and insomnia. Either you're being encouraged through a time of anxiety, or like me, you're really having a tough time sleeping. Maybe we have something in common, I don't know. But then check this out. The Eight of Wands says something's going to happen real soon. And you're going to come to a crossroads, says the Two of Swords. It's starting to look like, whatever's going on here with the Strength card and the Nine of Swords, talking about sleepless nights. Well, very soon, you're going to get to make a decision. The Two of Swords says you come to a crossroads. Now, you have all the tools to manage whichever decision you make, but you'll notice that the lady is blindfolded. She doesn't have all the information yet. So she's just going to sit back and wait for, everything to develop, and then she'll know what to do. And she's confident she can handle it because, of course, she's got tools in each hand. So look at that. Wow. Nice, Tarot World. Thanks for sending a fun, helpful message to CG. It's the Nine of Cups. It's going to be a wish come true when we make that decision. How wonderful. And then this guy shows up. The Five of Swords talks about winning at all costs and competition. And then it talks about luck. Well, this almost looks like a professional athlete's dream. You worked your way up through the college ranks to the pros. There's a lot of competition, but you could get lucky and end up on a world championship team. Anyway, CG, I hope that was fun. It was entertaining to me also. And I appreciate you inviting me to read. I hope you come back again real soon. Well, everybody, thanks for a fun-filled hour. I hope you have fun the rest of your day. And as you go through your day, don't forget to look up in the sky so you can see your star. My name is Breakaway Ray. Have a great day. Don't forget to like it and subscribe and comment. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, subscribers. Have a good day, everybody.